Mute it. This is the L2C Media Network, and this is Sports Finals after the first half. The review of all the 1 o'clock games in the National Football League and a preview of the Sunday and Monday night tilt. Now, with the scores and the AP Top 25 college football little massager, let's go live to our man Steve, the Baxman Baxley. All right, thank you very much, Harold. Good afternoon, everybody. All right, we got games still in progress, including the one that we are seeing as we speak. And unfortunately, it is over. And although they are technically not winless, Detroit is still in the running for that first round draft pick in the 2022 NFL draft. They have lost another heartbreaker, this time to the Cleveland Browns, 13-10. Gus Johnson did a great job, so great that he's on his way to A squared to do the Michigan Ohio State game, which you can see on the Big Rock Daddy Fox live from Ann Arbor. That could decide the Big Ten championship game, could decide a college football playoff berth. But we'll get you to all that minutia. Right now, let's do what we do best, and that is bring you up to date on what happened in the 1 o'clock games. Let's do her to it, Pruitt. Okay, we'll get updated. There we go. We'll get the updated situations. We've already had one minor upset, and it's a shocker. But let's get to where things are going right now. 35 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Ravens have the ball, 3rd and 3 on Chicago's 23. Bears lead 13-9 in a game that Gus Johnson did for Fox. The Cleveland Browns gave the Lions their 9th loss. Thank you, Pittsburgh, by the way, for giving the Lions a tie. Therefore, their winless season, it will not technically be. But right now, the final score, Browns 13, Lions 10. Minute and 15 seconds left to play. Houston leads Tennessee 22-13. With 15 seconds left, the New York Jets are about to be dumped by the Miami Dolphins 24-17 with 3:59 remaining in the fourth. The Philadelphia Eagles just swamp danced the New Orleans Saints by a score of 40-22. 1:15 left, and right now that is the game that is being shown right now in bonus time. Fox, of course, they have the doubleheader. So right now it is Washington 27, the Carolina Panthers 21, Washington up by 6. And folks, it is literally all over in Carolina. Washington with one timeout, Carolina with no timeouts left. Therefore, Washington, 1 minute 5 seconds left. They're just going to down the clock. Washington has beaten the Carolina Panthers 27-21. I can't wait for George Templeton's dissertation, for want of a better word, on the way the Washington team played today against the Panthers. So we're going with it as a final score. Washington 27, Carolina 21. And here's the stunner. The Minnesota Vikings in a steal beat the Green Bay Packers 34-31. Indianapolis Colts downgraded the Bills from the head of the plane to the coach. That's right. I don't even know what they call that. The head of the plane, first class. Thank you. They've downgraded the Bills from first class to coach with a huge 41-15 victory. 49ers beat the Jaguars 30-10. Already the 4 o'clock games, some of them have already just begun. Bengals, Raiders 13-36 remain in the opening quarter, and it is goose egg. So we give you a lot of joy here. But this is incredible. I don't know what to tell you. But week 11 has become a nightmare. And don't forget, we will have a special Thanksgiving edition of after the first half, Thursday at 4 o'clock, the usual time. Okay, right now, Bears have the ball, 1st and 10 on their own 25 with 22 seconds remaining. We got a couple more finals that have just bolted through. Houston Texans beat the Tennessee Titans 22-13. Miami Dolphins beat the Jets 24-17. And it looks like the Ravens are about to keyhole the Bears 16-13, 22 seconds remaining. 2-minute warning. You might as well say if the Saints want to win this game, they're going to have to think fast. Saints have the ball, 2nd and 4 on Philadelphia's 31-yard line. And wow. I'm just going to say it. Week 11 has definitely proven to be the week of either upsets, miracles, or complete devastation. If you're a Detroit Lions fan, you're hoping the Lions tank to keep that first-round draft pick, and maybe, hopefully, they'll draft someone that can actually play. Anyway, we'll come back to the scores in just a few moments. Let's give you the top 25 in the Associated Press college football lineup. I haven't seen these, so let's get going here. Let's go to it. At number 25, Arkansas. Number 24, North Carolina State. Number 23, Louisiana. Number 22, San Diego State. Number 21, Wake Forest. Pittsburgh, 20th ranked. Houston, 19th. Wisconsin, 18th. Iowa, 17th. Utah, 16th. University of Texas, San Antonio, 15th. Hey, Deej, how you doing? I agree with you. Boo on the Ravens. Let's see. 14th, Texas A&M. 13th, BYU. Ugh. This is what happens when you get slaughtered by the Ohio State Buckeyes. You drop out of the top 10 in the AP, and you are in 12th. Michigan State, 12th ranked. They may have just bottomed out of a better bowl game. They will go to a bowl game, though. Which one? Well, it's going to go to the last game of the season, which is this Saturday. Number 11, Oregon. Number 10, Oklahoma. Number 9, Baylor. Number 8, Ole Miss. Number 7, Oklahoma State. 6th, Michigan. 5th, Notre Dame. 4th, Cincinnati. 3rd, Alabama. And oh boy, you know what this means. Number 2, Ohio State. And still number 1, Georgia. What happens now? Simple. This Saturday, noon Eastern time, Gus Johnson going to call the game with Joel Klatt and Jenny Taft. It's the big one. It is Ohio State taking on Michigan. Here's what's got to happen. Michigan has got to beat, and I mean got to beat, Ohio State. If they do, Ohio State's chances at staying at the number 2 might be out the window. Ohio State yesterday took Michigan State not only to the woodshed but to the firing range, and boy, did they get blasted, 49-7. 56-7. I will give the devil his due. Ohio State deserves number 2, but Michigan, on the other hand, this is not the Michigan of years gone by. Michigan has toughened up, roughened up, and I think they're going to give Ohio State a little lesson. And Jim Harbaugh, his butt is on the line no matter what. He has got to win against Ohio State. I know he has, I think he may have signed an extension. I'm not sure. But if Harbaugh wins, everything is up for grabs. Right now, as it stands, Ohio State and Michigan are tied for first place in the Big Ten. Spartans just better hope and pray they can beat Penn State. If they beat Penn State, it's literally anyone's game. But this Saturday, this is Michigan's game to win or lose. They lose, they might as well just say bye-bye to a big bowl game. They're going to go for one of the mediocre ones. So that is all coming up. We will have more on this. Plus, we got a couple of breaking news stories to give you. Dan Mullen fired as the coach of the Florida Gators. We have also found out and can confirm that in basketball, Luke Walton is out as the coach of the Los Angeles Clippers. So there you go, folks. We got 2 little breaking news stories right there. We'll talk about those and many others on the late edition of the Sports Final, midnight Eastern time. Can you dig it? But wow, let's get back. Upset City. The Colts upset the Bills in Buffalo. Taylor exploded for 5 touchdowns in that game. Oh, excuse me. We do have a correction. Luke Walton was fired by the Sacramento Kings after a 6-11 start to the season. I've got to tell you, folks, this NFL season and the NBA season is getting a little rough. But man, oh man, Lions still in the running for that first-round draft pick in next year's NFL draft. They're no longer technically winless. They did have that one tie thanks to Pittsburgh. So right now, all they're looking for is a first win, and maybe that'll come on Thanksgiving Day against the Chicago Bears. We will be back on the air with a special version of After the First Half, which is going to be called After the Yams, after the first course, because it's Thanksgiving Day. And yes, let's give you some updates. Don't forget our Thanksgiving version of After the First Half, which is called After the Salad and Green Bean Casserole, Thanksgiving edition, this Thursday, 4 o'clock Eastern Time. But right now, let's give a little review ski of all the action from the first half, and we'll minimize. Ravens have just beat the Bears 16-13. Huntley passed for 219 yards for the Ravens. Meanwhile, Dalton for the Bears, 201 yards and 2 touchdowns. We'll give you everything else at midnight Eastern Time on Sports Final. The Eagles whopped the Saints 40-29. Let's give you some more final scores. Browns over Lions 13-10. Vikings shocking the Packers 34-31. Texans over the Titans 22-13. Here's the upset. Colts over the Bills 41-15. Dolphins, who'd have thunk? Okay, talk to you later, Lugs. Good job. Thanks, Steege. Dolphins over the Jets 24-17. 49ers over the Jags 30-10. Washington over Carolina in another semi-shocker 27-21. We got let's see. Let's go for our first. Bengals Raiders just started. 10 minutes, 2 seconds left in the first. Raiders lead 3-0 over the Bengals. The other games that are, or the other game that is underway, do we have that anywhere? Well, I think we do. The 425ers, Cardinals, Seahawks, and Cowboys Chiefs won't start just yet. But let's give you the preview of tonight's 8:20 game. That's the NBC and NBC Universal game, Pittsburgh and the Chargers. And coaches preach about preparing for all contingencies. Rarely has been more accurate than what Pittsburgh's Mike Tomlin and Los Angeles' Brandon Staley are dealing with going into Sunday's pivotal AFC matchup. Both entered the weekend with key players on the COVID-19 list. However, Steelers quarterback Ben Roethlisberger was cleared Saturday to start after passing the NFL's COVID-19 protocol. Pittsburgh will still be out without star safety Minkah Fitzpatrick, who is out after being put onto the COVID-19 list Monday. Chargers outside linebacker Joey Bosa was placed also on the reserve COVID-19 list Tuesday as a close contact after Jerry Tillery had a positive test. Bosa was removed from the list on Saturday after testing negative for 5 straight days. Roethlisberger's uncertain status during the week forced Staley to prepare for both Roethlisberger and backup Mason Rudolph, though Staley doesn't consider the added prep an issue. Mason Rudolph found out he was starting last week's game against Detroit less than 24 hours before kickoff. He completed 30 of 50 passes for 242 yards with a touchdown and interception in the 16-16 tie, which broke the winless streak, quote unquote, of the Lions and the winning streak of the Steelers. Rudolph spent the week working with the starters, but will go back to his reserve role against the Chargers. Meanwhile, Roethlisberger is no stranger to missing practice and then playing. He was forced to work virtually with the team for a week last November before a meeting with Cincinnati after being contact traced. He started against the Bengals and threw for 333 yards and 4 touchdowns. Both teams needed a win as they tried to emerge from a logjam of teams in the muddled AFC, where 7 teams have 5 or 6 wins as Turkey Day looms. Chargers have dropped 3 of their last 4 as teams have found ways to contain quarterback Justin Herbert. The Steelers, 5-3-1, have the toughest remaining schedule in the league, but last week's tie means they likely won't be in any direct tiebreaker situations, which can be a blessing and or a curse. Meanwhile, the Steelers traded veteran outside linebacker Melvin Ingram to Kansas City early this month, gambling they had enough depth without Ingram to survive. Well, that depth is about to be tested with Watt dealing with hip and leg injuries suffered when he sacked Detroit's Jared Goff last week. The team ruled Watt out on Friday, leaving the Steelers with 3 true outside linebackers in Highsmith, Charlton, and Zuka. Watt had 62 career sacks, and Highsmith, Charlton, and Zuka have 14.5 combined. The Chargers remain last in the league in run defense, but their numbers have improved over the past month. They're allowing 4.1 yards per carry in the past 4 games, compared to 5.6 in the first 5 weeks. LA has also allowed only 1 run over 20 yards after they surrendered 7 through 5 games. Defense faces another tough back in Najee Harris. Steelers rookie is 6th in the league in rushing and will be the 6th running back ranked in the top 10 that the Chargers will face this season. Pittsburgh Chargers tonight, In focus on NBC and NBC Universo, the Spanish language network. Now, let's do the Monday Night Fandango and get this boogie going. Bruce Arians believe there's nothing wrong with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers that playing smarter and with more passion can't solve. The Super Bowl champions, defending, have lost 2 straight games in which Tom Brady and usually reliable defense haven't been at their best. They'll try to get back on track when they host the Giants on Monday night. Turnovers, costly penalties, and an inability to get off the field on third downs definitely undermined the Bucs, who are 6-3 in road losses to the Saints and the Washington team. Arians is confident, though, the NFC South leaders can right the ship. The Giants, 3-6, who could also get injured running backs Saquon Barkley back this week, have one of 2 of their last 3. They're rested coming off their bye week and have played the Bucs tough the last 2 seasons, rallying from an 18-point deficit to win at Tampa Bay in Daniel Jones' first NFL start in 2019, and losing to the eventual NFL champions after leading at halftime of a primetime matchup a year ago. Brady is third in the league with 2,870 yards passing, has thrown for a league-leading 27 touchdowns despite playing much of the past 6 weeks without injured tight end Rob Gronkowski and wide receiver Antonio Brown. The 44-year-old 7-time Super Bowl champ aims to rebound against the Giants after throwing a pair of interceptions in each of his past 2 games. New York expects to see him at his best. Meanwhile, after struggling for 6 games, the Giants' defense have started playing like the unit that carried the team last season. It's given up 39 points and winning 2 of the last 3 games. The key factor has been third downs. Carolina was limited to 2 of 15 in New York's 25-3 win on October 24th, Monday night game. At Kansas City, Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs were 5 of 12 on third downs, edging the Giants 2017. Coordinator Pat Graham's unit held a potent Raiders offense to 4 of 12 in a 23-16 win before the break. And for the first time this season, the Giants have started the same offensive line in 3 straight games. Matt Pert is at left tackle, Matt Zurka at left guard, Billy Price at center, Willie Hernandez at right guard, Nate Soldier at right tackle. It might change this week with Andrew Thomas returning to practice after missing the last 3 games while on injured reserve with foot and ankle injuries. Thomas has been the left tackle since being taken number 4 overall in the 2020 draft, having an exceptional season before being hurt, so expect him back on the left side if he plays. Beyond that, it's anybody's game, but we hope that Tom Brady, Bruce Arians, and company will right the Buccaneers ship, or it's going to be a little bit of trouble. And that, my friends, is the preview. That, my friends, will do it after the first half. Enjoy the 4 o'clock games, enjoy the Sunday night game, and enjoy the Monday night game. We will be back with you tonight at midnight for all the latest sports news, score recaps, and a whole lot more. Midnight Eastern Time right here on Sports Final on the L2C Media Network and L2C Sports on YouTube. Until then, like I said, enjoy the rest of your football Sunday with Fox, NFL Network, NBC, CBS, and ESPN/ABC. It's football Saturday. No, it's football Sunday, football Monday, and then get ready. Your family will be together on Thursday. So will we, with a gobble fest for you. Hey, St. Ravage. Hey, St. Ravage. How are you, bro? About time you showed up for this little bit of joy and fun. Just want to remind everyone we're on the air at midnight tonight. Let's see, what's we got? Oh, yeah, we might as well do this one NFL story. And it's a bit troubling in Jacksonville. Trevor Lawrence, the number 1 overall pick in the NFL draft, who has shined at every level since he started playing football. He's having a rough rookie season. Thank you. Yes, it is St. Ravage, but I will be on at midnight tonight. This is just a little 1 o'clock, the little review that I do of the 1 p.m. games. So we'll be on at midnight tonight. Let's see. He's having a rough rookie season with the Jaguars with his development and how to bring him along, the subject of strong debate within that organization, sources have said. Things came to a head last week with Lawrence overwhelmed by the Colts with Indianapolis' zone-heavy scheme exposing difficulties that have existed in their offense all season. There's been a back and forth on the staff about how much to rely on the system Lawrence ran during his widely successful stint at Clemson, with some raising significant concerns about the injury risk that could come with it, sources have said. At a time when Lawrence is struggling to diagnose defenses and read through his progressions, sources say head coach Urban Meyer and others have considered going with more of the simplified RPOs that have fueled the Clemson offense. Lawrence rushed for nearly 800 yards, 17 TDs in his final 2 years in college, but the bigger and faster NFL defenders pose a significant injury risk, and the Bengals' reliance on empty sets and the agility of 2019's first overall pick, Joe Burrow, is a cautionary tale that has others within that organization pushing back on a collegiate approach. Now, suffice to say, Lawrence's development is paramount for the entire organization, which has not had strong quarterback play since their expansion years under Mark Brunell, and Meyer's already controversial rookie year in the NFL would be further marred by any setbacks for the quarterback at a time when other rookies have taken the league by storm. The Jaguars have yet to unlock Lawrence. And this is, if you can't unlock your quarterback, you might as well trade him. This is what plagued the Detroit Lions for about 12 years with Matthew Stafford. They didn't want to unlock him. But you look at him now with the Rams have unleashed the beast. And with the exception of a couple of games, Matthew Stafford has provided dividends for the Rams team. Jacksonville has got to unlock Lawrence to the point where he can showcase the talent that brought him to Jacksonville and the NFL draft last year. He's still working to read defenses and get through his progressions, ranks 29th in the NFL against zone defenses. And right now, furthermore, there's been tension and turmoil within the staff since the offseason, with Meyer repeatedly making his displeasure with many position coaches known, often in front of players. Sources say that it is inevitable that changes are coming to this staff next season. Running backs coach Bernie Parmalee and receivers coach Sanjay Lal, often on the receiving end of Meyer's diatribes, and any concerns with Lawrence's development could prove problematic for quarterbacks coach Brian Schottenheimer as well. The ownership, which is Tony Khan's dad, will be closely watching how the rookie fares in the final months of the season. We may see an entire coaching line dismissed before the final week of the season. So as they say, stay tuned. This is worth watching, and they will. Right now, we can give you briefness. The Chiefs, in early action, are giving Dallas a big Watusi. By the way, Bengals and the Raiders are tied at 3. And let's go with the bowl projections here before we call it a massive debut here. Here are the college football playoff projections. The national championship in Indianapolis, well, we don't know, but reported like if you're into elections, this is almost like what they call the early word. I forget what they're called during the elections. I'll just call them early word. Here's how the college football playoffs could look The Orange Bowl, December 31st, will have number 1 Georgia versus number 4 Alabama. The Cotton Bowl on December 31st will have number 2 Ohio State versus Cincinnati. Again, these are preliminary reports. The New Year's Six bowl games will include January 1st, the Sugar Bowl, Ole Miss taking on Oklahoma. I could see that. Rose Bowl will have Michigan versus Oregon. The Fiesta Bowl will have Michigan State versus Oklahoma State. And the Peach Bowl in December 30th will have Notre Dame taking on Pittsburgh. There's a whole lot more lumped in. Hey, Christine, how you doing? Stopping in to say hello. I'm glad you are. We're just here blowing some wind and getting ready for me to call it. And I will be back at midnight Eastern time with the regular edition. But I thought I would just chime in for a little bit and give a little preemptive briefness. Who could be the new coach in Florida? There are some rumors that Bob Stoops, who is at present the analyst for Fox Sports, he's also a former Oklahoma coach. Probably Scott Strickland, the athletic director for Florida, has to make Stoops say no on the odd chance he says yes. Stoops is just sitting there breaking down Iowa games and others for Fox. Let's see if he's still got any interest, any juice in becoming a coach for the Florida Gators. We just have to wait and see. What do you think about the Tennessee teams? Titans have proven to be a team on the rise. They are, if we get back over to our NFL standings as of this moment for Titans and the Vols. Tennessee is rock solid, 8-3 right now. If they can go 4 more weeks, win their next 4 games, I think you're going to see the Titans clinch the the Southern Division. I'm trying to say of the AFC. They're playoff bound if they just keep winning. As for the Vols, let's hello there. Let's see how the there we go. Let me pop them up. Tennessee Vols. I mean, they're an impressive bunch. I mean, right now they are 6-5. They're 8th in the SEC, but I think they're going to get in. I mean, they're not doing so great. They're 8th in the SEC. They're definitely not in the SEC championship game, but I think you're going to see them rocking a bowl bid. They can just, let's see, they can just take a win. In fact, their next game, November 27th, is against the Vanderbilt Commodores. I think Tennessee's got a good shot at a bowl game if they can come up and just show Vanderbilt the exit. And they can do better. In fact, if they start building up more on offense and a little bit on the defense, I think the Tennessee Volunteers are going to be among the top 5 teams in the college football playoff rankings. They got the speed, they got the stamina, they just got to get in sync. Volunteers right now, they're sort of mishmash. They're getting together, but they got to get more into it. And when you got teams like Alabama and Georgia, you got to do what you can to match up with those guys. It's impossible, but it can be done. I have seen some Tennessee games, and I will tell you, they got a good team. They can get better, and they will get better. I have a feeling next year you're going to see a more stronger Tennessee lineup, and that is going to help. Meanwhile, oh man, Oregon, what happened to you guys? Utah's routing. Wow, Utah's routing of Oregon. Excuse the expression, Oregon laid one hell of an egg. And as for the Titans, like I said, they tasted the playoffs, and they're going to taste it again. I think this time the Titans, depends on how things wind up, the Titans have got that glimmer. They've got that swag. They just need to get a bit more pumped up on defense, and we're talking possible Super Bowl. I think you're going to see the Titans get closer than they've ever been before this year in this playoffs. But still, you got that specter of the Buccaneers. Tommy Buccaneer. He wants that 8th ring, and if he goes with what he said, he wants to play for a longer time. I have a feeling you're going to have him playing maybe 2 years over what George Blanda played in the Raiders organization as quarterback. But the Titans, they got a good chance. They have got that chance. Yeah, in fact, tonight at midnight, Christine, we got our Sunday night review, and it's sort of a mini log of review of the games. And Monday night, I'll take the top 5 games and light them up. Christine says, I just don't want them to mess up like they did in 1999, fall forward instead of sideways. I just want them to at least get closer to the Super Bowl. As for the Lions, well, I'm not going to bark on the coach. I've always had a tradition. When a coach or manager for a Detroit team is hired, I give them a pass on their first season. This is the first season for the Lions coach. I'm giving him a pass right now. But again, everybody, football fans everywhere are I wish the Fords were out of football. They sell the team. They can't sell the team. Because if they sell the team, and I have said this many times, they sell the team, they lose the prestige, they lose the cachet, and if it's not on the contract, if they do sell, they will lose that Turkey Day game. If you remember a while back, the Lions came this close from having that cherished jewel that gave them the most publicity, that Thanksgiving Day game removed. William Clay Ford went up to the commissioner at that time and said, you want to remove Thanksgiving Day from us? We are removing our advertising from the NFL. We'll give it to the competition. NFL decided, wait a minute. Let's not get hasty. Let's compromise. Let's expand Thanksgiving Day to 2 other teams, or to some of the other teams. You get to keep Thanksgiving. That's yours. And they did. They are looking really good for a first-round draft pick. If they tank the rest of the season, I don't think they're going to tank it. I think they will win 1 game, but beyond that, it all depends on who has more. I think no matter what, the Lions will have that first-round draft pick. But that'll be determined. Next week, they got Chicago. That's easy. That's somewhat easy. They're playing at home, and the Lions do fair. They do fair at Ford Field, but still, if they want that first round draft pick, don't win another game. Technically, their losing streak ended with the tie in Pittsburgh, 16-16. They're playing against the Bears. Let me check on that. Okay, let's see here. Boop. Let's boop this way then. Oops, don't want that. Let's boop this way. Come on, boop. Come on. Okay, let's go to week 12 here. Bears Lions 12:30 on the Fox Network. Then you got Raiders Cowboys at 4:30 on CBS, and then the night game on NBC, which is Bills and Saints. Right now, Kansas City leads 9-0 in the first quarter. The Bears, they got embarrassed. They tie games in football. This is what I don't understand. And maybe facetious, but if you're going to have overtime, why not? And I have said it and said it and said it, and I'm not the only one that says it. There are others who have said it. Why not tailor overtime like they do in college football? I mean, stop this. A field goal will win the game. Field goal or touchdown wins the game. Bull. In the college game, they always give the other team a chance. That's why you have like 2, 3, 4, 9 overtime games. If you're going to do overtime, do it the way college football does it. Don't even think about doing it the way like hockey is done with a shootout. Although that might be a bit interesting when you look at it. But you go into overtime, they don't score. Go to a second overtime. You got to give the other team a chance. This BS, one team, score a touchdown, you win. The other team, what the hell? No. And I understand they do the college overtime way for the playoffs. Why not just do it permanently for the entire season instead of the playoffs? You got to have balance. I mean, the mishmash that, we're trying to keep football interesting. Well, here's how you start it. Take a look at college and Canadian football. All right, just subscribe to your channel. Thank you. Take a look at college and Canadian football. Now, I know Canadian football is different. They got 55 yards, about 105 yards, and they do 3 downs. But look at how they do things. And look at college. College and Canadian football. Study how they do their football games. You'll know why they're more popular than the NFL. And also, not only that, but take some lessons from the football leagues that are no longer that are now just a part of the landscape of doom. USFL, XFL 1, XFL 2, the Alliance. This is going to, if you're going to want to keep the fans, if you want to keep the viewers, if you want to keep the fans, the viewers happy, you got to evolve. And the evolving starts with a permanent overtime where one team and then the other team, both teams score. You could have 9 overtimes. It don't matter. Make it fun. Make it interesting. Get the overtime that college football does. Anytime ball is held for more than 10 seconds, it explodes in the other. Beautiful. I love that, Saint. I love that. And And hell, why not? Why not 1 point? 1 point. Why not institute? You know why Canadian football is so interesting, so fascinating? 3 downs, yes, that's true. But you got that 1 point. You got that 1 point. If I mean, if you catch it in the end zone on a punt, you have a choice to either run it or down it for that 1 point. There you go, simple. 3 downs to the first down. 3 chances, punt. I think the offense gets about 5 second head start on your butts uh, when you get the ball. And I mean, they're exciting, but again, if you're going to use the college football overtime for the playoffs, you might as well extend that to the whole damn season. Get a 1 point, get a fresh new overtime. Now, granted, XFL 2.0 had that great system of no field goals. Well, yeah, was it? No field goals. You get, let's see, 5 yard line, 1 point, 10 yard line, 2 points, 30 yard line, 3 points. They had that. That was beautiful. That was exciting. By the way, I think it's called either the Summer League or the Spring League. That's part of the NFL. They've changed the name, and you'll never guess the name they're using. Coming up, I do believe in 2022, the USFL is back. That's right. The Spring League is now going to be called the USFL 2.0. You got Dwayne Johnson, his group just recently bought the XFL. And the XFL is coming back. I think they're going under a new name. But they're going to have some rules. The NFL better be watching these newly formed leagues, take notes, and take lessons from college, Canadian, and take lessons from your spring and summer leagues. Hell, if you want to go farther, why not bring the NFL Europe out of Hawk and bring NFL Europe back in? I mean, you got a chance to improve things. You got a good chance. Of course, you got to get it through the heads of the NFL Players Association. But if you do this, if you take a bit of the Canadian game, if you take a bit from the college overtime game, you're going to have more interest and more people, more, to borrow a wrestling axiom, more butts in the seats and butts watching on TV. Because the way you're doing it now, I mean, it's starting to go good, but still, the antiquated overtime, no more. Let's improve that overtime. Adopt the college football system of overtime. Now, if you want to, I did too, both the Arena and Europe League. Now, if you wanted to adopt a little bit of the hockey form of it, I'd say go for it with Blessing. I mean, I could tell you, overtime periods, if you do hockey, then hell, go for it. If you don't win in overtime, then you have the football version of a shootout. It'll still be a shootout, but still, bring in the thing from I think it was the XFL. That's when you come up with the 3-tier, not extra point, Well, yeah, like no field goal, but you do get the extra point. Uh, 5 yards can be 1 point, 10 yards, 2 points, 30 yards, 3 points. You get five chances. No, not five. Want to be even. 5 to 6 chances. If you if it's still a tie, then you keep going until you win. Well, not necessarily that, but there will be a winner. If you tie, if after let's say 5 or 6 times you end up in a tie, so be it. But you get 6 times, 6 chances in the NFL shootout. And the scoring, like I said, 5 yard line is 1 point. 10 yard line is 2 points. 30 yard line is 3 points. Hell, I mean that 3-on-3 basketball, that is working like crazy. I would love to see I would love to see that system put in overtime for the basketball games for NBA, G League, WNBA. I love to see a 4 point shoot, 4 point shot being made. I mean, if you look at the NBA, the 3 point shot lane, move the 4 point shot lane right at half court. You want to get a shot, you take it, goes in, 4 points, winner, winner, chicken dinner. Christine says, I'm still bummed Titans lost to Texas. Saint Ravage. What killed me on the NFL was the last player strike about 10 years ago. Millionaires saying that billionaires weren't giving them enough, and billionaires saying that fans weren't giving them enough. Here's why. And I said this earlier. If I didn't, I'm saying it now. The NFL has antiquated rules. They got to start thinking outside the box. They got to start looking at Canadian. They got to start looking at college. They got to start also looking at these upstart leagues. You want the fans to stick their butts in the seats, you got to think outside that box. I mean, look at it this way. Baseball season might be delayed a little bit. Yeah, baseball, we might have a strike in baseball coming up before the year ends. By the way, a little reminder. DVRs on December 31st, if you have a DVR, set it up when the month transgresses to December. Set it up for your NBCSN channel so you can get the last 30 minutes of NBCSN, but also you can get the last 30 minutes of ESPN Classic. That channel is going off the air. But that's in December. But going back to Saint's comments, I'm just going to say this. They've got to start, like I said, they got to start thinking outside the box. You want the fans involved? Think outside the box. Look at Canada. Look at the college. Look at the spring league or summer league. Look at the leagues that have gone bye-bye as well. Take some lessons from them. The overtime you're doing right now is antiquated. It needs to be refurbished. You need to borrow from the college game. And if you have to, a little bit from hockey or soccer, either way. But you got to do something. If you're going to keep the NFL fresh for the fans, you got to freshen up the rules. Your overtime rules are antiquated until the playoffs. Give your rules that you do for the playoffs, extend them to the rest of the season, even add a shootout. There you go. That way you don't give anyone an opportunity. You don't give any team the advantage. You go into overtime, clean slate. Both teams have a chance. And if they don't do it in overtime, give them a 6-try shootout. If they don't do it, then it's a tie. They both get a point. They both get a point if you ever do points in the standings. I mean, I would love to see them give points in the standings. A win, 7 points. A loss, 3 points. Win in overtime, 1 point. No, not 1 point. Give them half a point. Win in overtime, and give a point then in overtime. Point and a half in a shootout. There you go. I can write these damn rules. But you will see if you just change your antiquated overtime rules, the fans will come back. As for broadcast, you got Nickelodeon, a kids network, doing a wild card game like they did last year. That was fun. That was great. That was thinking outside the box. This year, you're doing the same thing. You're giving Nickelodeon also a weekly look at the NFL with all their bells and whistles, including, yes, slime cannons, which were popular. Those were fantastic. Why they didn't slime anyone, they slimed the one guy, but that was off camera. Boo. But I mean, look at what you're doing for kids. You're giving Nickelodeon another shot at football. I would love to see Nickelodeon do more than just one playoff game, one wild card game. Give them a little taste. Of course, tell the teams playing, don't violate the rules. There are kids watching. It's on a kids network. I mean, I can't wait for the wild card game this year on Nickelodeon. That is going to be whacked. Anyway, we're getting near the end here, so might as well. I can think of a few playing that I like to see slimed. I can think of a lot of owners I like to see slimed. But I will tell you this. I can't wait to see what happens next. I cannot. Thanksgiving Day. And I will tell you this. When John Madden retired, I'm going to say my father-in-law loves Cowboys. I forgive his bad taste. I forgive his bad taste. Ooh. I mean, I forgive anyone who has. I mean, I will every once. Yes, slime him. Jerry Jones, yes. Especially him. Jerry Jones would be a prime candidate for sliming. But as the late great Ross Perot would say, here's the deal. You want to make the NFL fun. Think outside the box. You do that, you got the fans back with you. He kind of makes his own slime. Yeah, especially that party bus. Ugh. So, with about 2 minutes left here, can I be the one that slimes him? Yes, Christine. Anyone with the chat name Christine the Killer Car, you can slime them. In fact, you could slime them in the actual car. Yes, Christine the Killer Car, our official slimer. There you go. Okay, first quarter, it is 9-3, Kansas City. Boom, boom, boom. Kansas City, here they come. Anyway, I knew you would. Yes, I knew you would. But anyway, and oh, by the way, hang on for a second. Gotta pick up what dropped here and here. Then I gotta shut her down. By the way, for those of you who want to know what the rule is on betting games of like the NFL, Dan O'Toole, who used to do a sports show with Jay Onrait on Canada's TSN, and before that on Fox Sports 1, called Fox Sports Live, said it best. 4 simple words. If you want to bet on the college and pro football games, or I'm going to stretch it out for any games, a pro or college, 4 words. Always take the over. Always take the over, kids. Remember that. Always take the over. Because had I learned that, I would have bet 100 on Ohio State to win by 42. And I would have taken the over on Ohio State. I would have been a millionaire. I would have run like hell because I'd have these unknown relatives come after me. So there is your first lesson. There is your first lesson in how to bet a game. How to bet on any and all sports. Always take the over. And you will win. It's like roulette. Either bet on red or bet on black. But when it comes to sports, always bet the over. And that is going to do it for us. I will see you tonight at midnight, right after a couple of podcasts I got to do that we go live to tape on the podcast on Spreaker.com at 11. So I'll be on the air here at midnight with more football, more sports, and anything else that are happening in the world of sports that we could talk about. So thank you, folks, for dropping by, and enjoying this lovely little show called After the First Half. Enjoy the rest of your games, everybody. And, that's midnight Eastern. Yeah, midnight Eastern. For you folks at Central Time Zones, it's 11. For Mountain and Pacific, it's 10 o'clock. Or 10 Mountain and 9 Pacific. So midnight Eastern, be here or be Benadera. Or would you rather be a fish? Yeah. And don't forget, Thanksgiving night. Even though some of the sports will probably have Thanksgiving night off, we will have a full show, including, and I hope I have it with me, a live reading. Yes, there will be a live reading of Super Dead. That's right. If you love the live reading of Pirate Queen, you will love the live reading of Super Dead Thanksgiving night at 11:35. So be here tonight, midnight Eastern, 11 Central, and for the rest of you folks, figure it out in the Mountain and Pacific time zones. I'll see you tonight at midnight Eastern, 11 Pacific. Midnight Eastern, 11 Central, 9 p.m. on the Pacific time zone. This has been a presentation of Mystifying Creativity Productions in association with the L2C Media Network and L2C Sports. See ya on La Torre. And thank you, folks. Don't forget, subscribe, hit that bell. I will put the promo up on Twitter. I'm still trying to figure out how to put the promo up on YouTube, but still, you'll know when we're on the air. Thanks, everybody. See you at midnight Eastern, 11 Central, and everywhere else. Figure out the time zones. Bye.